Hey everybody, this is CJ Nelson from the Twister's Cookbook, your guide to twisted living. And welcome to Twisted 5. Happy New Year everyone. It is January 2026 and this is the first episode of 2026. So we're going to shoot for a monthly filming for 2026. So welcome to January and let's go ahead and get started. So big news for us Twisters. Last year we saw a lot of new colors, and they're all geared towards decorators. They might throw us a new 260 color, but that's mostly so decorators can use it. But Betallic Sempertex has been giving us Twisters a lot of love at the end of last year and at the beginning of this year. Because first of all, at the end of last year, they announced 2 new shades of colors. They're matching the thing we all wanted, which is a replacement for Qualitex Blush and Qualitex Mocha Brown. We now have Pastel Matte Nude and Fashion Mocha. And look at those colors. These are great. So we finally have a replacement for those different colors from Qualitex that we've been missing. Not only that, Betallic and Sempertex have introduced a lot of new 160s and 360s into their lines, so that we now have a greater depth of color charts. So you got things from 160s all the way to 660s, and that's super exciting. So we've got Imperial Red, we've got the Honey Yellow, which is a great replacement for Goldenrod. They've also got that in 160s. Spring Shamrock, which kind of replaces Spring Green, is now available in 360 and 160s. You can now get, they are back in stock on Lilac, Fashion Green, Chocolate 160s and 360s. They've also got Gray 160s and 360s back in stock. So they've really filled out those different sizes and all those different colors that we all love and want to use more of. So I personally, as someone who uses a lot of 360s, am really excited about this, and hopefully we can get some 660s in the yellow, the honey yellow, so we can make giant giraffes. Maybe that would make a lot of sense, in my opinion. Number 2. Convention season is upon us. It's a really exciting time. There's going to be lots of great pictures coming out in social media of all the cool things people are doing. Instructors are announced. Class lists are being handed out. Instructors are teasing what their classes are going to be. We know who the vendors are. Vendors are talking about their products. It's just going to be a great time of year if you're able to go to conventions. And if you're not, a lot of great pictures to look at. So we got a list of all the conventions going on that are going to be happening in the future. Not listed as float. That's mostly for the decorators. That's in less than 2 weeks out there in Reno, Nevada. And that is going to be a monster convention. It's going to be absolutely huge. So if you're going to that and watching this, hey, thanks for checking out a twisting video. And 2, have a great time. Not on the list, because it already happened, is Florida Super Jam, and we would be remiss if we don't acknowledge that that was the last one. They've had 18 previous Florida Super Jams. This was the last one. I heard it was absolutely amazing. I was crushed I couldn't be there. So special thanks goes out to Sheree and Herschel for almost 2 decades of dedication and service to our community. I personally have a lot of very fond memories of Florida Super Jam. Made a lot of really good friends there. Learned some cool stuff as well. So personally, thank you, Sheree and Herschel, for being part of my journey in the balloon industry. Number 3, speaking of events and things going on, we've got conventions going on overseas. Also going on overseas recently was the Balloon Story in Sydney, Australia. Now, if you remember, last year Balloon Story took place in New York, where twisters and decorators got together and made some giant and massive balloon installations. And so they did it again in Sydney, Australia. And a number of familiar faces from the United States went out there. If you ever have a chance to participate in these, you should do it. You have to pay to go do them, so that seems weird that you have to pay to go to work. but trust me, it's worth it. It's worth the experience. It's worth the knowledge you gain. It's worth being able to see what I did and show people pictures, because most people don't know what we can really do with balloons. And that's why I personally, having gone to several larger balloon builds, love them, because you get to showcase what is truly capable with balloons, where their ideas are down here, but you know the possibilities are just endless. So if you have a chance to participate in Balloon Story, because I'm hoping it keeps going, because this is the second one, or any other large installations, you should absolutely take advantage of that. And while we're on the subject of Australia, you might remember a couple years ago there was a balloon reality television show called Blow Up. First took place in the Netherlands, and then it is in New Zealand. Netherlands has had a second season, and then it's also been in Australia. Most of us couldn't watch it because it was geo-locked, meaning if your computer was not located within a certain geographic area, you weren't allowed to watch it, unless you knew how to spoof your VPN, which I did. But for everybody else, it was impossible to watch. We just heard stories, saw pictures, but now on Prime Video, Blow Up Australia is available to watch. Highly encourage you to watch it because it's fun to watch, see people you might know, have met in person, or have followed online for years, and it's really just inspiring. Again, you can see what's possible with balloons. So make sure you go ahead and check that out. Number 4, let's talk tutorials. So much has happened since the last time we spoke, but we're just going to hit some of the newer stuff. So most recently, Kimberly Hill has released 2 new volumes of a modular design concept called Sleeping Critters. So each volume has 8 different critters on it, and they're for sale for 20 pounds. Now you can get volumes 1 and volume 2 and save 5 pounds, and you get a total of 16 critters. So that's right around 2 pounds per design. So that's a pretty good value. And you can see the pictures here. They're very cute. Also on her page where she sells her tutorials and clip art, she has a new-ish set of 6 different K-pop Demon Hunter designs. So if you do a lot of kids parties and that's really hitting you and you don't know quite what to do, go ahead and check that out. Links for all this is down below in the comments. Next up, Christopher Lyle has another closet session. This is closet session 5, and this is all about Valentine's Day. And right now, for the next approximately 2 weeks, depending on when this airs and when you watch it, it's half off at $37.50. And that's for 35 designs. So that's a really good value as far as dollars per designs goes. And they'll have some stuff that's really quick to some stuff that's a little bit more complicated. If you've seen his previous closet sessions, you get a really good mix. And you might not like everything, but for the number of designs, for the dollar amount, it's really worth it, even if you only get 5 or 6 designs out of it, which you won't. You'll get more. Speaking of Christopher Lyle, all of his collected works are now available online at a single place called christopherlyle.com/shop. Link down below so you can check that out as well. Finally, number 5, let's talk about some products. Product reviews is what I also like to do. Make your life easier and better as a twister. We all know that the most difficult part of twisting is closing the line. It can be an absolute nightmare to the point where you are fearing for your own safety. That's not hyperbole. That's serious, people. Fear for their own safety trying to close the line. One new product that came out a couple years ago, and I picked it up last year, I've been using it for dozens of events, is the line close sign. Comes in this handy carrying case. It's got stakes in here so you can stake it down if you're on grass, and it folds up very easily. Yeah, it's big. This is hard to ignore. For over 12 years, I've been using a vest that says line closed on the back in English and Spanish, and people will just stand there and stare at it and act like they don't see it. This is a lot harder to ignore. So it also comes with a set of coins that you can hand out or make your own tickets so that when you close the line, you hand out what is left, and only those people with the token or ticket get a sculpture. So I've been using this and it is amazing. I'll be using it tomorrow night where I go and twist at a university for 4 hours, and closing the line is always difficult and people always jump in and out of line and it's chaotic. But this has made it so much easier that I'm out of there right on time every time now. So you can check it out. It's Rosie's Industry Innovations. She also has stickers for eyes that I've purchased, and they work great, and some different things on her website where she also has organizational help for your putting your nozzle up balloons in your balloon bag. So make sure you check it out down below. Well, thanks for joining me for this edition of the Twisted 5. I'm CJ Nelson, your guide to twisted living.